Hello and happy Friday, my favorite day of the week. All right, I'm excited to be here on day 9. I'm almost halfway done and I feel like I'm just starting, so maybe there will be like a day 37 or something. We shall see, but I committed to 21 days of sharing some lessons that I have learned in my journey to self-discovery. My self-discovery journey has opened my eyes, my heart, my mind, my body to receiving a new way of being, a new way of living, a new way of experiencing life and all that is in store for me. And so I want that for you. So that's why I'm here sharing. So welcome to day number 9 of my self-discovery journey. And I want to tell you a story that happened just this morning. So I have been creating a movement called Mend Yourself Well. Some of you are following it, some of you aren't. I haven't really, anyways, I'm just at the beginning of it. It's just the infancy of this message and movement. But I have a wonderful, wonderful virtual assistant that I've been working with for 14 months. We chat twice a week, every Tuesday and every Friday. And she helps me put my vision, and my heart and what's on my mind on paper, and helps me share the message. She totally gets me, especially at this point of our working relationship. It's been a while. So she has learned all about me and has been witnessing all of these wonderful things that I'm doing and sharing. And it's finally feeling like all this work that I've been putting in to my passion project over the last 14 months, it's finally feeling like there's some momentum. Momentum is the word that I used just a couple days ago, and that was like my Facebook status, momentum. I got a few likes, but really that's what I mean, is I feel momentum happening. And something happened today to kind of stop me in my tracks, and I wanted to share that because I feel like so many of us get stopped in our tracks way too often, and I don't want that for you. I feel like when you have an idea that comes up in your head or on your heart, we come up with all these thoughts of like, oh, do I deserve that? Or that's a stupid idea. Or, we self-sabotage so often because all of our fear comes up and our insecurity. And I can totally relate to this. I'm not speaking to the choir here. Like I'm talking to myself as well. So what happened this morning was that my virtual assistant, I opened an email that she sent to me, and she created a media file for me. And what a media file is see, one of my goals is to be a public speaker. And what a media file does is it's like a resume for public speakers. It has your pictures, your audience, your facts, and your bio and testimonies. Like, it's really beautiful. It's amazing, and she did an amazing job. So Katie, I know you're going to be watching this. Thank you so much. You're so amazing at everything you do. I never want to share your name with anybody because I'm worried that if you get too busy, that you won't be there to help me. It's kind of a joke, but I'm kind of being serious. You're amazing, and I love working with you. So thank you for what you do for me. So this media file is beautiful. Just totally beautiful. And I was reading it and I was like, wow, everything's true. You're right. I do this and I am that. And like, she just really had a way of encompassing everything that I am and everything that I stand for. And when I saw it on paper and I was reading it, I literally felt like all my sphincters tighten, and I know that's TMI, but like I literally had this like physiological response, like, like, I can't share this. This is too good. I don't deserve to share this. Like, I can't tell anybody about this. I don't deserve it. I was thinking in my head, like, I don't deserve to be that wonderful. I don't deserve to shine. I don't deserve to have someone say all of those nice things about me. That was in the back of my head. And had I read all of this 6 months ago, I would have come up with stories to keep that under wraps. I would have decided at that moment, because of that physiological effect, I would have come up with all the fear-based stories, all the reminders that I'm not good enough or that I don't deserve this. I would have come up with all of those things and said, we can't share this. We can't do it. But because of the work that I'm doing in my life, and that's why I'm here sharing this with you, is that was just a limiting belief for me. I am good enough. I do deserve it. And you're good enough too, and you do deserve it as well. See, one of the greatest desires that I have is to shine bright, is to be on stage, is to be amazing. Like that's when I envision my future and my reality and like what I am called to do, I see myself standing on stage and pouring into the hearts and minds of other people. I love that. That lights a fire in me more than anything else. And that's one of the reasons I'm here. It's practice, it's exposure, but it's also leading from example and saying, you know what? I do deserve that. And there's no reason that I can't accomplish my dreams. And there's no reason you can't accomplish your dreams too. See, we get stuck on our stories of believing that we're not good enough, or we're not worthy, or we're not loved, or we're not appreciated, or good things never happen to me. Like we get stuck in those sad, sad stories. What I want you to ask yourself is, think about your sister or your brother or your best friend or your neighbor, or even someone that you don't like, and ask yourself, are they worthy? Do they deserve to be loved? Do they deserve to shine bright? Do they deserve all the wonderful things that are happening to them? Yes, absolutely. You're going to say yes. So if they deserve it, why don't you deserve it? Why don't I deserve it? So in that moment when I was reading this media file, I was like, for 15 seconds, I was thinking of all the excuses I could come up with until my trained brain came in and took over and said, hold on a second, you do deserve this. You do deserve to shine. Let's share this with the world. And that's what I'm going to do. I'm so excited. My virtual assistant is amazing. So because I am training my brain, training my mind, I'm now allowed to break these patterns that have been holding me back for so long. I've been wanting to shine for 7-8 years. So I'm just now able to do it because of all the work that's led me to this place. All the experiences I've had, and then, the struggles I've had. I'm finally like, when I get to a struggle, I'm like, okay, this is not holding me back. This is just a little speed bump. I'm going to overcome it. So I'm learning ways to overcome it, and it's now what I teach my coaching clients. The women that will be with me on Saturday, May 5th at my event, yes, I have to throw that in there. Women with a dream, I'm empowering them. I'm going to teach you how to break these patterns once and for all so that you can get over yourself, that you can literally start to shine bright. If you look at the videos that I've done 6 months ago, especially before January, you'll notice a big shift. And the only thing that's changed is what's going on up here. And what's going on up here affects what goes on here, which affects the words that come out of my mouth and the passion that I have. And I want that for you too. It's not, it's hard, but it's so worth it. This hard work is so worth it. So a couple things I want to leave you with today. We're all meant to thrive. That's number one. If I can thrive, you can thrive. If I can shine bright, you can shine bright. There's nothing that makes me more special than you. We are all special, and we all deserve greatness. We all deserve a wonderful life. We all deserve it. So we have to overcome those things that are holding us back. And I want to give you a few tips. Hi, Alicia. I know you need to get to Dallas. That would be awesome. I'm glad that you like this message. You have to watch it from the beginning. I know you came on late. I really want to keep pouring lots of value into you guys watching. So my tips for you, I have 3 tips. If you want to start overcoming some of these things that are holding you back, my first tip is to journal. So 6 months ago, like, I didn't know what was holding me back. I didn't know that there were things holding me back. I just thought, like, it wasn't my luck. Like, I wasn't having a lucky day, or I wasn't doing something right, or like I kept like thinking like, well, maybe this will work, or maybe that will work. Like, there was so much force in my life. Like, I was just constantly forcing everything, and I was forcing, like, anything that I wanted. I was like, trying to punch through and like, okay, how can I make this happen? And so, like, I didn't even know that limiting beliefs was actually the thing that was holding me back. Like, it was all up here. So as I release the blocks that are up here, as I remove those things that are holding me back, that I didn't even know were there, to be honest, and that's why I'm so passionate about sharing this. I didn't even know they were there, and once I discovered that they were there, which I'm hoping this video is helping you discover them, once I discovered they were there, then I could bring light and love to them and help get rid of them. But as you can tell from what I experienced this morning, they're still there. They're still, like, in the shadows trying to hold me back. But, like, the more I practice and the more that I keep telling them, like, no, go away, I'm better than that, the easier it's going to get. So they are still there. So my tip for you is to journal. Journal about what's going on, about your struggles. When you journal and you just write, and you write and you write and you write, and it doesn't have to make sense to you or anybody else, but as you write, and if you just keep journaling without ever taking a break and just let whatever thoughts are coming up in your mind, just journal without taking a break, what you're actually doing is pulling stuff out from the subconscious. When you pause and you think about it and you think about how to journal, you're only on your conscious thoughts. But what we want to do is actually bring up the subconscious when we journal. So my tip for you, grab a journal. I have a million journals. Look at this one's like all beat up, but I use it every day. I use some form of journaling. And when you're journaling, you just write and you write and you write. It actually allows subconscious stuff to come up. And so then, and only then, do you like get an idea of what you're really struggling with. So that's my tip number one. Tip number two is after you journal, just evaluate it. Like, evaluate the patterns that are showing up. Like, evaluate the struggles that keep coming up, and then ask yourself why. Like, that's my third step. So to evaluate the struggles and the patterns, and like try to make sense of it all. And then the third one is like, ask yourself why. Why is this happening? There's always a reason why, and I'm going to give you just a little light into the reasons why. Childhood stuff, birth order has a lot to do with it. I'll be the first to say, and my brother will actually laugh at this now that he's older, but my older brother was 7 years older than me, and he was always getting in trouble, like always getting in trouble. And so I saw him get in trouble. I saw his consequences of getting in trouble. So guess what that made me? It made me a people pleaser because I didn't want to get in trouble. My greatest fear was getting in trouble. My greatest fear was doing something wrong. So I became a people pleaser, and I became a people pleaser until just 2.5 years ago, when I was like, and I still have tons of people pleasing patterns. Trust me, I'm working on those. Like, they're still there. They're still like big parts of who I am. I haven't totally overcome them, but I'm working on them, and I recognize them now, and they're easier to recognize. Wow, I'm going on and on. This is really long, but lots of good stuff, I hope. So I saw him get in trouble. My greatest fear was getting in trouble. So I became a people pleaser. So that was one of my limiting beliefs, is like, I gotta watch what I do. Like, I have to be perfect. I have to be careful. I have to, walk on eggshells. I have to, like, all these beliefs that I created when I was young because of the experiences I was witnessing then. And when we're children, we don't have the filter to process all of that. So I just became a people pleaser. It's a blessing now. I look at it as a blessing. so I'm not resentful. I thank my mom and dad. Someone is pulling up to my house, so I have to go. One more thing, other things that cause these, like other reasons that cause limiting beliefs, just events that happen or events that continue to happen, like a multitude or a combination or like a combination of events that happen, especially in childhood or especially when we're younger and we really get hurt and we don't overcome it, we just suppress it. A lot of those things cause us to have these limiting beliefs. So I have to go. I have a guest showing up at my house. So thank you for watching. I'll be back tomorrow with day number 10. Have a fantastic day.